Guardian down. Guardian down.
Ikora, Guardian. Drifter and I had something to show you, to better varnish your understanding. Kepler is part of the Oort Cloud, a sea cliff of Sol jutting over the abyss of space. If you want to understand what summoned you, you need to understand dark matter. Find a pool of radiolaria. Drifter will explain first.
I familiarized myself with the most recent studies from the tower. Dark matter is well documented.
Sure. In papers.
Peer-reviewed data is our strongest place of knowledge. Though I imagine, Orin, you have a different angle on the subject.
Had my eyes on some of these Vex going haywire, and seems like the dark matter of this place is souring the milk, so to say. Once the stuff gets near Vex milk, the Vex become disconnected from the collective, and then go nuts before they slowly die off.
The Vex becoming disconnected due to dark matter influence implies some part of their biology is aware of its presence.
It is, even when limited to 3 dimensions.
Forgive me for only considering 3.
We are dealing with 2 separate problems connected by the 9. Dark matter, which is what they are, and time, which is what they shift. Dark matter can usually only be experienced, not observed. Think of wind, or scent. Invisible, but detectable. Shifts in time, though, are harder to sense. We are drawings on a piece of paper, and without us knowing, that paper is being folded into a crane. We can seek their hands all we want, but we can't fold the paper. It is easy to feel adrift, powerless.
Adrift is a good way to put it. If we can see the unseeable here, maybe we'll see what shaped our path, too. We're facing this together, Orin. Guardian, There's a growth in the Ionian settlement that the plant life is responding to. This interaction is arresting.
Cattleya Rex. Beautiful.
We'll have to send additional researchers for further study of the interaction between transdimensional matter and material flora.
Once I can wrangle my proprioception out of the sixth dimension and stop my skin from shifting squares on the periodic table, maybe I'll write you a paper on it.
Dark matter doesn't explain the time-lost artifacts we've seen.
It does, in a way. The Nine exist outside of time. When one intervenes in our dimension, it can cause tears in space-time, pull things through. A hole punch in our paper crane.
You have a talent for explaining complex concepts. Have you thought about how you could share what you've learned?
No. I have not been able to cloud through what is next for me.
Knowledge decays if it is not shared, as the Ionians say. What do you miss most, Orin, now that you're not the emissary?
My media file collection. I put so much thought into curating it before all of this. I loved Magpie. Maybe I still do.
Lodi mentioned a collection of pressed music recordings he left behind. I bet he'd enjoy someone guiding him through a few hundred years of what he missed. The time-lost objects we've seen. All of them are obviously from the past. We haven't seen anything yet that appears to be from the future. Orin, can the Nine only pull objects forward in time?
The Nine on the other side of the altar is connected to the Singularity, but they aren't one and the same. I don't see why they would seek to create a black hole, but their goals are different from ours. We have no sway over them.
Can you blame me for wanting to try?
Of course not. We've both been fortunate to learn about the world from the safety of the tower, and to learn about it from underneath our skin.
Then share that knowledge. There's a place and a future for you, Orin. Teach humanity what we cannot learn from study.
A future? I would like that. Guardian, I felt that. You found a piece of me, shed. A layer of past choice was molted here.
Orin, what? Was that you? What happened?
I clawed my way free of my own flesh, peeled back the time scale. It's not the only one, and it smells like memory. There is nothing more familiar than scent.
Orin, would finding more pieces help you?
There's a lash in my eye. Yes, I think it will help me. This was the first. Raw still. I remember those nerves and burning lightning. I did not wish to leave, but it had to be done.
What do you mean you didn't want to leave?
It started as sunrise.
You must have been determined to leave the Nine to endure this. What did they do to you?
Whatever was needed. But this one specific straw, so dry and petty. A murky knife in spine. But the wound still tingles. Enough to break my service with splitting suddenness. It was personal. Not a regret. A slight... I can taste it on the tip of my tongue. Guardian, I think I've made a mistake. Lodi and I were talking. Now that conversation reeks of sulfur.
That sounds unpleasant.
I should have noticed it sooner, before the conversation spoiled into argument. But I didn't. I pushed him, and he stormed off into the hills. I tracked him to here and set a beacon to signal him, but he hasn't responded. Find him.
Orin, what exactly were you two arguing about?
The past, what might be, and the cliff of what he is becoming. He prefers to look behind instead of what's in front of him. He values service over freedom. I've already made that mistake for him.
He's going through a lot. Maybe we can approach him with a little more tact. Orin, we're here, but I don't see Lodi.
But his scent, lost in time, hanging on brass and polished sand.
Okay. Guardian, I think she means that monument. And next to it, brass and sand must be the time-lost telescope. If Lodi was here, maybe we can get a lead from those.
Orin sent you after me. It's nice to see people get worried when you disappear. That's the one. Polaris. You know, my father taught me to fly an old duster as a boy. I was an aerial surveyor during, well, we often flew at night. Stars were important. My old man, he used to tell me, nations are built by service. Drilled that phrase. Now, I didn't want to kill anyone, but I could help get a clear view of a target, make sure it was the enemy, and help minimize collateral. Our crew used to joke that we were sighting targets for Orion's next hunt, guiding his arrows to the hearts of evil men. We thought we could make killing fair. I'm not that naive anymore. But as an emissary, I could still put a finger on the scale. A check.
Guardian, you've got...
The position of emissary is not a comfortable one. Hanging between a mess of secondary colors caught in a minor key. The Nine need emissaries to understand humanity. Their subjective reality is fundamentally different from yours. Lodi is trapped in the present participle, becoming, transforming, beginning to hear the stretch of magnetic fields. Learning to bear the touch of the Nine like acclimating to lightning strikes. The Nine don't understand plain, mauve disgust. How we react.
This is sterile. Embalming fluid and rubber. Chalk taste. Ugh. My intent to stay shed in dead anger. The Ionians test its petaled peels for a connection to their holy anomaly. They claim I was born here, from a corpse flower molt.
Is that all it takes to stop being an emissary? Damn, I have to murder a sucker to quit my job. It's good to have you out.
That wit of yours doesn't have as much anger behind it. But I don't need your pity by any name. I need focus.
necessary just for humanity. You need it between yourselves.
Guardian. With the bad brain, she could not heal this division.
They are manipulating you. Trust my platinum, Lodi. They have already taken everything from you.
Irritant.